right? perhaps it will not be such a surprise. But if you look around your world, that the vast majority of people hold back and do not express their abundance. Many are abundant in time, in love, in healing energy to be given. They are abundant, perhaps financially. They are abundant in compassion and joy. And with such abundance, one almost feels ashamed that they have this ability or qualities that are in their life. As all too often, the human life says, you should not have such things. They are special, and you have them, but you have taken them from another. But this is not necessarily so. If the universe is full of unconditional love, then love is constantly giving. If the universe is eternal, then time is never something that is judged. And much is given to each person. In fact, it is all given to each person. And that person chooses to express it or not express it. And it may not be in their life path to use such a quality. But when they have it, there appears to be some degree of shame. I should not have so much time on my hands. I should not feel so much love. And they suppress the quality of love and presence and patience. But all of this can be of immense benefit spiritually. As wealth may give the person time and options, the ability to work with others, the ability to help others, the ability to give energy when it is required. And yet they think that they must suppress that or hold it to a certain time on a certain day for a certain person. And decide to worry, fear, restrict, because that is the human training. Yet the universe gives all to all, and you should not be ashamed of what you feel or have. Indeed, part of your incarnation is how you express through your internal world what has been given to you in this lifetime. So if you are fortunate enough to have financial wealth, that is an act of grace and love. And you can use that in many different ways. And indeed, that expression of that wealth can be used for good or not. So abundance is with all, and you all have the same abundant qualities. You have learnt them, you have received them, or you express them. And if I was to give you abundant love, would you know what to do? Would you first doubt your worth, doubt whether the gift is real or not? Or would you let it flow through you because it is not yours? It is only yours to use for that brief moment in time. Rather like the land that your house sits on. It's only for your use for a brief period of time. No ownership is possible. You see, man builds up all sorts of reasons why they cannot be so magnificent and instead decide to play meager and small and to be hidden and not seen because there is a feeling of guilt or shame that they possess such beautiful qualities. You think I am talking about those on the extremities of society, those who have somehow gained a certain amount of money or some serenity or peace. But I talk right to the core of society. Do not play small. Live by your abundance. And let the qualities you have been given flow through you into the world. In ways the world needs the qualities that they come to you for. And know that these are gifts that you must play with and juggle just for 80 years. And there is no guarantee that you will have a human life another time. So make the most of what you have. Do not regret. The qualities that are given to you are not at the expense of another person, because they are given freely and they are given to all. It's just not the other person's time. So often guilt arises for some because they have positivity and not negativity in their hearts. Do not judge what you have. Take it into the world and use it with your heart. Allow the excess time that you may have to be endowed with love. Allow the financial abundance to be worked through you with compassion and kindness. Let the healing energy that you know so much about be given away to others. And if more finances come your way, know this is so you can help others with more time and more space. You see, guilt is often a judgment twice. An event occurs in one's life, and guilt may arise. And you think that should not have happened. I should not have done that. But how do you know you should not have done it? If you should not have done it, you would not have done it. But at that time, it was done out of an expression of love for self or for other. And now, with hindsight, you may have come to a different conclusion. And now you may make a different decision because you know of the decision and the consequences made previously. So the first decision may have been your training, so that you now know what you should or could do. You live an eternal, but you experience only a present moment. So in that present moment, you have the option to love all, to express kindness and compassion and joy, or to hold the basis of fear as you predict a future which never arises. So in the main body of the talk today, after the healing list, I would like to entitle it Dragons and Other Dilemmas of the Mind. It appears dragons are rather appropriate. So let us get to that in a little while. May I have the healing list of names now, please, Brandon?
Ross, Karen, Rob, Susie, Aiden, Abby, Amanda and Alex, Ray, Joe B, Stephanie and Susanna, Robert and Marjorie, Ross, Dave and Keiko, Stacy, Lauren, Matthew, Pia and Kelsey, Mistuki, Chris Wielden, Nabi Clark, Christina, Jody, Emma, Liza, Lucy and Ben, Matt, Laura and Molly, Carrie, Lorna, Jasmine, and Selena. Thank you.
When you were a little child, you wondered, what will I be when I grow up? Have you ever stopped being that little child? Do you always wonder what you'll be when you grow up? You say, well, I have lived many years since I was that child wondering about my future. Surely now I have grown up. But as mentioned before, there is no middle to eternity. And therefore, how do you know whether you are young or old? You judge it by your body or your mind, your mind's connection to the calendar, and say, I have lived 50, 60, 70, or 80 years, and therefore, compared to others, I am much older than I was. But you look at life in the physical and not in the spiritual. Spiritually, you are no different. You are the same age, and in fact, you are ageless. And yet, as a child, you wondered about your future and wondered what will you become and what you should do. And time became very important to you and became more and more important as you progressed through life until you hit a certain point. And because time was something to be had, to be enjoyed, endured, then there was restrictions and problems, impatience, and lack of tolerance regarding what you should do and what you should become. And so much pressure starts with the child. And that pressure becomes an internal monster, a dragon that sits in the recesses of the child. And it is often only the parents, or to begin with, the parents, see this dragon come into life. And the inner frustrations become the outer anger. And the child starts to breathe fire and threatens to build the whole world to a cinder. But for much of the time, the child holds the dragon at bay internally within the mind, and says to the world, you do not want to see my dragon. Because then hell itself would be let loose. So the dragon suppresses their inner nature. Vowing never to be let loose. But occasionally one may prod the child or the adolescent, and the child expresses the hidden frustration that lies so deep within the child. Now, if one was to take that dragon outside of the child, it is perhaps not quite so big and scary as the child believes it to be. But within the child makes it to be enormous. And as the child walks through life, it consults the dragon and says, how did I do today? And the dragon says, well, actually, you did not very well. And believing those words, the child falls into despair, but wishes for hope. And not knowing that the dragon has been self-created, the dragon appears to be more and more real. And later in life, one may feel like there is a dragon or a demon or an entity that is within the person and will drag that person into oblivion or into pain, would ruin the life. And yet the dragon or demon has only been created by the child. And one honors this dragon, pays homage to it and worships it, trying to forever placate it. And the dragon is no more than an unmet desire. Often a desire for love, for connection, companionship. And therefore the dragon feels more real when there's times of difficulty in the physical life. And the dragon is fed by unworthiness. Yet perhaps it's no bigger than an inch. If one was to truly look into the mouth of this fictional dragon, one would see the aloneness or the desire for love that is at the basis of this false self. See that it is fear-based and has no basis in truth. But if one was to feed that dragon to such a degree, then one may often believe that the dragon is more real than the life being lived itself. And therefore the dragon ruled the existence. But one can use this dragon, to their own benefit. When you see within yourself and recognize it to be an untruth, I believed I was not loved. Then you can bring the dragon into the life and use it in ways which will be of assistance to you rather than a torture. There is no need to carry the demon of dragon on your back, but rather for it to stand by your side and you say, I have defeated my dragon. I know now that my dragon was based on loneliness. And my fictional friend is now here to support mine and others in their journey as well. So when you finally grow up, all you'll ever be is free. And with freedom comes immense qualities that you will inherit at this point. You are free from the ties of the past. You are free from the expectations which weigh on you related to the future. You are free from the feeling of lack. You are free from the need to hide your abundance. And indeed, you suppress, forgive me, you go past the negativity of what was once a dragon, now for you to be the all and everything, and be far more powerful than any dragon could ever possibly be, but a dragon of love, not a dragon of fear. A dragon of giving, not a dragon of control. A dragon of eternity, not one of limit. So what you have created and you feel exists within your internal world in some corner is based in fear. But with time and ability you can use to be an expression of love. Or you can totally remove your dragon and know that it was no more than a play of the mind based on a false belief that you do not need to have with you any longer. See, many of the qualities of the physical world are based in a false belief of the physical body. The body is so tall and so wide, and therefore all the gifts I have must fit within the space it occupies. If I cannot hold it in my pocket, it cannot exist. And one thinks that you are judged by your mind and how much you know. But the truth is, it's how much knowledge you can allow to flow through you. Because it will be available to you at the right time as long as you know where to look. It is the trusting of the inner self which means you will know there is no need to control. So the play of life then becomes a juggling between abundance, the dragon of fear, the limitation of the body and what you can remember in your mind. And yet with a true mind, one open to stillness, all abundance is made available to you. You wake up to its presence. So the dragon of fear becomes so connected to self-worth that you do not feel worthy. But yet it sits right by you for your use. It sits right by your side. So let the flow of love be with you, through you, external to you. Do not doubt why you have it. Do not doubt that you do not deserve, that you committed a sin and therefore have made yourself unworthy. Do not let the dragon of old fears limit your life. And let the flow of abundance, which is your birthright, be with you into the world. And given to those in need. And if more comes, more opportunities will avail. Be the expression of all spiritual truth and not be hidden by false beliefs, false dragons, false guilt, shame, and let it be in your past, not in your present. And all love is available now. You see, many people say, for some reason, I am not where I should or supposed to be. I am supposed to have learnt that by now. I am supposed to be on a mountaintop meditating by now. I am supposed to be at peace, and yet I feel agitated. I'm supposed to be successful, and yet I do not feel I am. I am supposed to be the light of spirit, and yet I am haunted by the dark. But God did not give you any timeline. He did not give you a set of events that must be achieved by a certain time or a certain hour. All that was given to you is the opportunity to love or to fear. If this is where you are, abundant or not abundant, that is perfectly okay. Your time is coming. And if you have the qualities of expression, the time to use it will be soon. Let love be in your world. because you put it there. Until next week, practice love and choose it over fear. God bless you all. Mm-hmm.